Right, we will try this again. So apparently Facebook stopped our broadcast. So we may have said something inappropriate. I don't believe that we did, but if we did, apologies to whoever. Yeah. So yeah.
Do we need to drop a new link because it's not coming up when I do this?
It should just come up. There is a bit of a there's like a couple of seconds delay with this. So yeah, that's us. I've just seen someone like it. So hi to here. Hope you're doing well. Hopefully we can stay live with this one. So yeah, let's just. I'm just going to pick up the last comments. Yeah, and I can see it cutting off there. Okay, so I think the last thing we were talking about was Andy Henry standing up his girlfriend to spend the evening with us. So you're very welcome, Andy. You're in good company. Yes, so what have we got going on at the moment? So we are, well, myself and Eamonn are traveling across to Leeds on Sunday to meet up with Luke and Liam and respective partners.
Mm-hmm.
So we are all looking forward to meet up with a few people in Leeds. It's very casual. Yeah, kind of 3 o'clock onwards. Just seen that comment. Yeah, it is a bit of a car crash, that shirt. So
I can't get the relevant comments up in front of me, so I have yet to see who commented that, but I'll figure it out.
Well, you'll figure it out, I'm sure. So yes, that's on Sunday in Revolution in Natalie Cromie. Fair play. Oh dear, fair play to Natalie. Yeah, that was Eamon's shirt that caused that. So the fashion police will be at the door in a few minutes. So yes, that's on Sunday. Be the 4 of us and partners. Gavin's coming up, Susan's coming up, a few other people booked in already. So if you want to join us, just going to drop a link for this so you can get involved. Let me see. Drop this in the chat so it's there. Ty Adams, Facebook deletes fake videos.
Harsh. I don't know which is worse, the fact that Natalie Cromie said about my shirt or Dan saying this is a fake video. It's a bit harsh.
Well, I think that just depends on your view on the world. I mean, we're all just particles in this plane of existence after all. So what is real, what is fake? Anyway, that's as philosophical as I'll get this evening. So yes, that's Sunday.
Yeah.
In Leeds. So it's Luke and Lara organise this. I've never been to Leeds. Revolution bar is next to the train station. So yeah, I think Leeds is pretty easy to get to from most places in England and Scotland and Wales or whatever. So if you are coming up, there are a few people staying over, and very casual. I mean, I hope Eamonn doesn't mind me saying, but the networking that I've done to meet Luke, to meet Eamonn, really has benefited me personally and the business. So I wouldn't be where I'm going and where I am without kind of meeting other people. So yeah, it's really, really worthwhile. Really, really good. And there was another meetup that was organised, the course that I did previously in London. It was great. Met Matt Wheatley, met Andy Lawrence, and there was a couple of people that I'm still in touch with from that meetup as well. So yeah, really, really worth coming up or down, wherever you're coming from, if you want to get involved. So drop the link in the comments. And yeah, we've had a few comments basically say it's really short notice, all the rest of it. Yeah, ideally we would have liked to have been able to say a few weeks ago this is when we're organizing it. This is where it's going to be, so people can organize kids and whatever else. But just with kind of everything that's going on, that's kind of the earliest. Well, we couldn't really announce anything until Freedom Day, and then just the way bookings and things worked, that's kind of the only thing that was available. So we've had a few people ask about London. All that's organized at the moment, guys, is Leeds. So it is short notice. If you want to come up or to Leeds or down to Leeds, wherever you're coming from, you're very welcome, and it will be good crack. So is there anything that you would add to that, Eamon, just in terms
Yes,
of the meetup?
I did have somebody message me on WhatsApp earlier to clarify. They said they weren't going to go, and then they clarified, was there going to be the opportunity for alcohol? And I was like, well, yeah. And then they're like, I've moved things around, I'll be there. So I don't know if that swung it for more than just that one person, but that seemed to be a deal breaker for them.
Yeah, I mean, it's in a bar, so if you want to have a few drinks and relax, go for it. I'll not be indulging, and neither will Liam. It's just personal choice. I'll still be there at the end of the night, though, probably propping Eamon up and pulling him back. So yeah, come on down, coming up. There'll be a bit of crack, and yeah, have a few drinks. It is very casual. It's to network, talk a bit of rubbish, talk shop, and yeah, put a face to a name. As
I said to a guy earlier, I'll not drop his name. Well, Derek, I'm sure he doesn't have any issue with that. And messaged him, and he's like, yeah, it's a bit of a distance, and it's a bit short notice. But I was like, listen, there's no agenda with this. This is literally just a social meetup, putting names to faces, say hello, argue in person about who's penny pinching under you. And he runs a prep center. He also sells on Amazon. He's like, you know what? Yeah, that's brilliant. You can see the value of that. He might get a customer out of it. He might not. There is no agenda with this. It's simply just put a face to the name. There's like Susan Hogan, who was on here last week. I've been chatting to her on and off for the last year or so. Never met her. It's going to be a lovely opportunity to do that. Plenty of others. There's ones that are clients that are going. That's going to be lovely to be able to get chatted to in person. So I am really looking forward to it. From what I remember of the last meetup in Belfast, it was very enjoyable. I was carried home from that one, so we'll try and not have a reoccurrence of that. Our young colleague, young Claire, is suggesting that Derry is very nice for a meetup this time of the year. I know around this time last year we organised one in Belfast for Northern Ireland sellers. It might be nice to try and organise something in the west of the country this year.
Yeah, I've never been out in Derry, so yeah. Could do. I put up a post in my group for Northern Ireland to see if there was any appetite. Just for people who aren't aware, Northern Ireland still kind of got restrictions. I can't keep up though. Some, but yeah.
You're allowed to go for dinner. It depends where you're going.
Well, the thing is, like, I went for dinner Saturday night, and it was my dad's 70th. And we had 12 booked, but we had to be in 2 tables of 6. And the only tables that were available were like halfway across the restaurant. So yeah, it was a bit annoying that. But I've made a contact there on Saturday with a guy who runs a mobile pizza van.
Nice.
Yeah. And this is like, there's pizza ovens, and then there's kind of
is he for the down direction?
No, he's set up and carried off.
Right.
So a guy called Aaron. I haven't sprung this on him, but I'm sure he'd be up for it. But there might be a way to have him rock up, just have something completely outside. But that's something different. But that would be quite cool. I met up with him on Saturday afternoon. So yeah, aside from that. Leeds, very casual, very welcome to come up. It'll be worth it. And yeah, just kind of looking to having a bit of crack with a few people again. Don't know about yourself, Eamon.
Genuinely, that's it. It will be nice to actually just put a face to the name. It's one thing talking over Facebook Messenger and stuff like that, but it's nice just to have that personal connection. And even ones that I spoke to at the meetup last year in Belfast, it was great. people that I've even met when I was over at the NEC at trade shows, and you still, once you've actually just had that 5-minute chat with them, you can phone them up and they're like, well, lad, how's it going? And it's a lot more personable and informal. I know we're not suppliers or anything like that, but it's good. You get a real feel for somebody. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. So guys, be there or be square is all I'm going to say in the matter of that one. What should we chat about next? Tell you what I did for an hour this morning. I sat for an hour this morning and talked to one of the bigwigs of Royal Mail within Northern Ireland to discuss getting the business account for Merchant Fulfilled. He said I asked a lot of excellent questions, and I had obviously done a lot of research, which I took as code for being awkward and twisty. But yeah, he was telling me, and this was something I didn't know, that as of the 1st of July, anybody that wants to do seller fulfilled Prime must do fulfillment on Saturday and Sundays, because it's been a big headache for Royal Mail to be able to facilitate the collections on a Saturday and a Sunday, especially in this wee province. I don't think there are any sellers that dispatches on a Sunday, but they've had to put on special services for Saturday sellers. I
didn't know if you could. No, carry on. Sorry.
Well, I said, well, I know it's not for you to say, and I know I should be the one knowing this, but can I not just set Prime from Monday to Friday? And he's like, no, if you're doing self-fulfilled Prime, it's 7 days a week. It was Monday to Friday to the start of July. Amazon changed terms of service, and it's bad when the first time you're hearing it's from Royal Mail instead of from Amazon, but up to now, I've never really done self-fulfilled Prime. I've done merchant fulfilled, and I've got different 1 day and 2 day shipping options, but it's not Prime. So yeah, that was a wee bit of an eye-opener for me. I was looking into it, like, it's one of them sort of ones you have to commit. Like, he was like, oh, if you want to start off small and commit to sending 5,000 parcels a year, and I'm like, it's 100 a week, big lad. But there is obviously drop-down options. But when you look at it, it could be a great solution if you have the facilities for storage options, especially for your slower selling items that you don't want to send in and pay storage fees on. So
there's a conflicting. Hi, Johnny, how's things? So Johnny Smith has just put up Saturday or Sunday, mate, not both, which is interesting. Yep, Saturday at the moment for seller, and then Natalie's put up Saturday at the moment for SPF. Be interested to see what they say.
Maybe
do you know what it is? You know what it is? It's because we're over here. It's because it'll take an extra day for self-fulfilled. So guys, if we're over here, we've got the Irish Sea between us. It'll take an extra day, so we would have to do it on Sunday if we're going to offer it. I would dare say that's what it is.
Yeah. So I don't know. The guy did say that at the minute they had no Sunday collections. They had sort of canvassed their customers and said that there was no Sunday collections. Obviously, this was a ad hoc phone call, planned phone call this morning. I haven't looked into all the details of it yet, but I'm giving it serious consideration because this last week I was putting out 20, 30 parcels a day, and it wasn't something I really planned for. I just sort of changed a few things around, and the sales just took off very organically on a couple of items that I hadn't really planned on. And it got me thinking, I'm paying through the nose, and for the same price that I'm paying, I can have it tracked, not click and drop with a tracking number, because as he explained, that's not tracked. This is your customer gets a text message every point of contact within the system. And it's near enough the same price. And I'm thinking, that makes a lot more sense. It'll allow you to keep a valid tracking rate of above 95%. It'll allow you to be a lot more responsive with trends leading into Q4. And for some items, it'll actually work out cheaper for fees. Now, the trade-off to that is, do you have the space? Can you commit to the time? Do you have the facilities to put all that out? And can you be that responsive? So there's a trade-off in that, and I'm going to tread very carefully before I go too deep into it. Because you trade off of your time against that. So it's, or are you going to have staff if you've only 10 items going out on Friday, or are you going to pay them 3 hours to do 10 items? So there'll be a little bit of learning on this one for me, I would argue.
Be nice to have that in place for Q4 there, wouldn't it?
He did tell me that my local postie has been sort of pulling the fast one on me a bit, because he said any time that I've been reading collections, and he said, well, what time were they for? I'm like, oh, they just sort of give me a nod in the morning. They'll be back sometime in the afternoon, and they just sort of show up in the afternoon. And he's like, no, if you're doing a paid collection, they're meant to give you a 10-minute window. I'm like, all right. And I was like, well, considering as the local depot's manager did have a complete suit ruined because I spilled domestos all over him, I try and keep him sweet.
Domestos.
2 years ago.
It's another lead of mine you stole. It's another lead of mine you stole. Domestos breach.
Didn't know you. No. I didn't know you when I was buying that and selling that by the pallet. So wind that neck yours in. No, I was selling it, and again, just sort of sold it merchant fulfilled because it wasn't even hazmat then, but it just, I don't know why I was doing it that. And I was very naively just popping them into a jiffy bag. And they didn't last. And yeah, he went to lift the box, like a crate, and it went all over his suit. So I got a phone call from head office going, they don't want to take any of your mail anymore. So yeah. Long story short, though, my local posse took a photograph of me in a suit about a month ago with curry sauce all down it and sent it to him, which he got great delight out of. So all's well that ends well. But
all's well that ends well.
I would imagine merchant fulfilled will be an avenue that I'm going to explore a lot more in the next couple of months, especially as Johnny, he's on the live, be able to tell you with the minimum order quantity of 2 or 3 units, being able to be. Now, I did see a post that he put up recently where you're saying that the Amazon seems to have done a U-turn in that, and they seem to be offering preferential treatment again to FBA sellers over Seller Fulfilled Prime on smaller units. But I think in this day and age, with the way Amazon's behaving, with the way all things go on, the more strings you have to the bow, the better. I don't think there's ever any right or wrong answer to how do you do Amazon.
No, yeah, correct. You've got to stay lean and be able to pivot quite quickly with this. It's interesting. Even with the limits. So, just recently we came across a wholesale item that sells very well. It's a seasonal item, and we'd sent 200 in, and they all sold, I think, on Thursday. So I've just placed an order of 2,500 units to go to the prep center, and I don't have space to send all of them into FBA. So what we're doing is we're going to send half into FBA and then have prep center to fill the other half.
Yeah.
So
I missed that, Lloyd. Can you send it over to me?
You'll be all over it soon enough, Eamon. I would have thought.
Like a rash.
Yeah, it's not likely to be so slow. So there are opportunities there, guys. It's just sales just the last week and a half have been unbelievably good. How's everyone else's sales going? Yeah, let's see who's in the chat. So let's have a look here. So Natalie, hope you're well. Johnny, yeah, going across. D was asking for a link. Let's have a look here. So Natalie, hope you're well. Do you want to mute that, Eamon?
Yeah, apologies. Didn't realise it would ping up on. I will answer that question, Natalie, while you're having to scroll down. Software that Natalie's referring to, I have alluded to several times previously, and it's regarding wholesale software. Now, at the moment, it's still in its alpha development, and at the moment it's very much a database of all the registered wholesalers within the UK. Not just wholesalers. Predominance of it is actually brand owners. So there's times like Kuhn, which are a makeup brand. So it'll give you their contact details of their head office in Belfast and London and Dublin, and any other offices have throughout the country, and show you some of their products. The flip side of that is, say you're going to Amazon right now and you search Rimmel foundation, it could bring up maybe 80 or 100 ASINs. Whereas with this software, it will bring up maybe 200 or 300 ASINs. And the way it works is it will bring up ones where Rimmel might be included within either a bundle or if it's mentioned within a category of it. So it is a lot more in depth. It is nowhere near ready for launch. And I have had people approach me going, here, give me a sneak peek of it. And I'm like, yeah, sure. And I've approached the developers and been like, lad, do you mind if I give my login details? And they'd be like, categorically, no. I am the only one outside the actual owners and development team that have seen it, which I'm very privileged about. And the person has asked to remain quiet about it. They've pretty much sort of said to me, generate a wee bit of interest, but don't tell anybody anything about it. I'm like, how do I do that? But okay. They have said that they could absolutely destroy every third-party seller if they really wanted to overnight, because it has the It's like, what was that one out of Tomorrow Never Dies, Hand to God?
You pretty much do that with your repricing strategy anyway. You do my listings. Don't know whether it's just me. Anyway,
my repricing strategy is sell the first 1,000 units at a loss just to build up that market relationship, and then go from there. The way it would be is you would have database of suppliers, database of products, and you'd be able to marry the two up. They have been toying with the notion of being able to go in and say, look for Nike trainers, and then you'd be able to click on it and it would give you the name of the supplier that currently has them in stock. The problem with that is if you had serious bags of cash, you could set up, agreements with them suppliers and just dominate vast swathes of the Amazon platform if you have enough money. So they're not going to go down that road because, as I said, it would screw. People wouldn't buy it. They'd only have one customer because then nobody else could work it. So they don't want to do that. But it's still very much in development, so I'll not chat too much more about it. But when there's more info, I'm sure we will be discussing it a lot more. That's all I can say about that. Yeah.
Name that film, guys. So, yes, is there anything that anyone in the chat would like us to cover, or is there anything you want us to talk about? So really there's kind of three things that I wanted to kind of cover in this. We've kind of talked about leads and the meetup. So again, very welcome. There is an Eamonn McCaffrey special coming up in a few weeks' time. You want to talk about that?
Lloyd, my mummy tells me I'm always special.
Yeah, and she'd be right. So
right. I mentioned a few weeks ago on my Friday evening check-in that I was doing a bit of prep for Q4 and that if anybody wanted a little bit of help on that. And it was sort of if anybody wants a bit of help on that, should give me a shout. And then a couple of people messaged me like, actually, yeah, I do want a bit of help on that. And I thought, right, well, I can half-ass this and jump on a call and say, sure, do this and do that. She'd be grand. But instead of that, I've sat down, I've put a couple of things together, and I'm still sort of tidying up, starting to do a wee bit more due diligence stuff. And it's pretty much going to be what to prepare. So get your money in order, get your prep materials in order, stuff like that, the obvious stuff. But I'm also just going to drop on the table a lot of good leads as well. Mostly from Lloyd Jones, a few from, I've been doing a lot of work with a few other sellers just going in and like trawling their accounts and picking out their best leads. So you might even see most of your own products there. But genuinely, I just want to deliver value in this one. It's a very commonly asked question. I had a call today and the person was like, going to start putting away money and I'm going to start buying toys wholesale. And I'm like, good luck with that. You're looking at 3 to 4% margin. It's very hard to get toys wholesale for Q4 at that because a lot of the big toys are run at very wafer thin margins to get you to buy other lesser known toys at higher margins once you're in the door. So different things like that we'll be discussing on the night. Date to be confirmed, further contents and info to be confirmed, but that will be the gist of it. Have your recent sales high profit been summer related? Did you plan your purchasing inventory for this? Ooh, Excellent question, Arjun. Mr.
Hi,
Jones?
Arjun. Yeah. I think was a really big seller. There's kind of a few left. So it was a desk fan. What happened was a supplier we've been buying stuff from for just over a year and contacted me, basically said a high street retailer, kind of in Northern Ireland, has let me down on these. There's 3 pallets of fans if you want them. So had a look on Amazon, and Amazon were on the lifting, but they were coming on. So thought, yeah, let's do it. So I actually think I posted in the iGen group. So there was 3 pallets arrived, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. That's right. It was the longest day of the year. Was that the 21st of June? Would that be right?
That is the longest day of the year, but was it the longest day because you had to handball them all in?
Well, 3 pallets arrived, 4 o'clock, and had them all prepped by, I think, 10:30 that evening. And that included dinner at my parents' house as well. So, yeah, they all got sent in the next day, got picked up, and they all more or less sold over 2 days, just the weekend there. So it sold maybe, 20% leading up to the weekend, and then they just absolutely flew. So that wasn't so much planned, but
happy coincidence.
Yeah, well, that's what they say. Luck is when preparation
opportunity meets preparation.
Yeah. So really, I've been kind of handing them for fans. They've sent some more across, but they're not great. Sent some more across. They're not great, so might just put a small order in. Just with being away next week, it'll be hard to kind of prep them. So I've got a guy called Elijah helping me. So
how's that going?
Well, he did a day last week, and he unfortunately failed his driving test yesterday. So he chose the wrong lane at a roundabout, and apparently that's enough to fail your test. So no work from this week, but hopefully get him in. Yeah, I kind of need to line a few things up so things arrive whenever I'm home next week, because I'm only really home 1 day next week. So yeah, long story cut short, yes and no. I would plan, and obviously around Easter time you're going to buy Easter eggs. When it gets hot, you're going to buy things that cool people down. Source what's kind of selling really. They've been very good actually. So it was very difficult to get in with them. Very difficult, I think.
Is that the one that gave you the credit line?
Eventually, that other company is in the mainland. There's a company I've got, a limit with. That's a Northern Irish joke, by the way, guys. I've got a credit line with them.
Nice.
With them. No, but it took ages to even speak to the right person with them. There was a wee bit of, well, that might lead us on to our next thing that we're going to be talking about, if we're going to talk about that, Eamon, if there's enough time, but we don't have to.
Which thing are you on about?
Playing it coy as usual. So let's see here. Have you? Yeah. So Origin, did you plan your purchasing inventory for this? Yes and no to answer that really. Okay. So Q4 prep. Any good events or sales that usually come in the next few months that we should be ready to jump on, like the Sainsbury's toy sale? So I'm not sure who put that. Let me just see.
That is Andy Henry. Andy, that is something that I'm going to cover within the Q4 prep. I don't know any of the dates off the top of my head, so I'm not going to start trying to play coy and say, oh, yes, I'm just not exactly sure. I don't know the dates.
Well, the thing is, they're all different last year because COVID.
Yeah, but as I say, they'll usually sort of tip their hats to when they are, but I don't know that as yet. I haven't looked into it. What I would say is when it comes to sourcing for Q4 and when it comes to toys and stuff like that, everybody and their dog knows that Argus is going to do a 2 for 15, a 2 for 30 sale, or a 3 for 2 sale and stuff like that there. And everybody goes crazy mad. And usually they'll advertise it and there's only like 2 in one shop and it's 20 miles away from you, but there's good margins on Amazon. You buy it, you prep it, you ship it in, the price tanks. Be sensible about it. There was a national sale last week on Kinex in Asda, Tesco, one or the other. I just happened to buy 24 units because I was in the shop looking jam donuts and I couldn't help myself and I lifted them. They will not see daylight until the 24th. Where I have them, there's no natural daylight and they will not see daylight until November. Simply because the price has already dropped 2 or 3 quid already. They're a bulky enough item and I'm not paying storage fees on them. So if you're going to go around September, October time, and you're going to start buying toys out of Sainsbury's, yeah, great, have at it. Good thing to be doing. Don't try and sell them the next week. You have to sort of budget and plan out. That is where the shrewd person makes their money on Q4. It isn't about volume, yes, without doubt, but you have to be sort of coy and tactical about when and what you sell and when and what you buy, is what I would say on that one. Natalie, apologies, I picked you up wrong about the software. Inventory management, still a very much an area that I need to work on. I seen our mutual friend Lloyd this morning, Mr. David McGuigan, is advertising for stock management warehouse. He was advertising for 4 positions, and I was like blown away, going, there is a kid that's doing exceptionally well, and fair play to him. My inventory management is going, I roughly know what's on that pallet. I must look at what's in that box there. It is by no means perfect. Problem is I'm shifting that much about in the shed that much. I need to get something. I have started for the items that I have specifically earmarked for Q4. I do have Google Docs, literally name, ASIN, purchase price, and what box, everything boxed and numbered, and what box here and how many units are in it. So I have literally boxes. I was going to say prepped and ready to go, but they don't have the SKU codes on them. I slipped up on that one. But they'll just be a matter of lifting the box out, label them back in the box and out the door. So that's what I'm planning.
Yeah, I would. Well, I'm pretty sure everyone's seen Braveheart. I mean, with
hold.
Yeah, so
you still mean.
I made that meme. Let's not. You're too busy eating jam donuts instead of us to make memes. Yeah, so that'll all be covered in Q4 planning by Mr. McCaffrey.
Yeah, just on the point of when you were talking about prep, I had my niece in the shed today, sitting prepping away, and she came in and she's like, I just dropped the box and damaged it. And I'm like, well, it happens. She wanted a box of sweets. And I was like, well, that's convenient. And I goes, well, that's going to have to come out of your wages then. And she goes, fine, but I'm taking them home. I'm like, I've trained you far too well. I have trained you far too well.
She's McCaffrey.
She is, well, yeah, half. Yeah. It's normally mid to 3rd week of October, and I wouldn't bother. It's crap. Generally the odd gym, but not worth getting up at 6 a.m. and fighting the school mums in the aisles. Natalie, darling. That's half the fun. You don't do RA for the money. You do it for the looks you get as being a weirdo of wheeling stuff out and getting to fight people. And that's what I do it for.
And if you think Eamonn's well dressed for this, suit and tie for RA. I'm not kidding. Suit and tie.
I have been mistaken for a Tesco's manager on several occasions. The crowning glory was trying to go and find the right set of shoes for a couple and going and getting somebody to check on their system if they had any more in stock out the back. And then coming back and apologising that they didn't have any in that size. Bad.
Let's have a look here. Yeah, so that's our McCaffrey. It always gives you extra. That has to.
Dinosaurs?
The
dinosaurs, yeah, Andy, they were class. They were an absolute gem.
Dinosaurs?
Yeah. Bought them for like 9 quid and you were selling them for like 25 and they were about thumb size, so they were brilliant.
Here's one for you. Do I
Yes,
have
sir.
one? So my friend. So here's a free lead for the internet.
The
So my
dinosaurs.
dinosaurs. So my friend messaged me earlier. Now, me and this guy go way back. We used to play rugby, all that type of stuff, and I started Amazon slightly before him. I told him about it, and what happened? We both kind of started August, September time, and obviously that was kind of running into Q4. Bought a load of toys, made really good start, and he sold more than me in December. Now I know what you're going to say, McCaffrey. Oh, that's not hard, but sold more than me in December. I was like, oh yeah, get. And so it's like January time. So we came around December and gave me a bottle of whiskey. Say thanks for introducing me. It's been great. I've made a couple of K. I was like, oh yeah. And next month I was like, yeah, let's have a chat. He's like, oh, I'm not going to do it anymore. I was like, really? Why? He's like, just don't have the time. At that time, he only had one child, and now he's kind of just he's got 3 kids now, and just makes excuses. So he messaged me earlier, and he was like, I'm in Home Bargains. So if anyone's watching Home Bargains, what are they? Jurassic Park. And he's like, I know these will sell really well. Do you want me to get them for you? It's like, yeah, sure. So he called around, he dropped them off. And yeah, like, what would you say to someone like that who, I don't know, I just kind of just throwing it out there. It just seems, don't know why I'm throwing it out there. He, I just don't understand why he stopped, because I was annoyed that he'd beaten me that December, and that kind of spurred me on. But he just kind of just stopped.
Do you know where I thought that story was going to go? I thought you were maybe going to cut a long story short and say that he sold more than you in December, and then he ran out of stock, and you were still selling them into late February, and you were actually making better sales in January and February. Because I had great sales January and February, and I think a lot of people sort of think that right come Christmas Day, people turn off the computer. That doesn't happen. You still have gift cards, returns, presents. Granny gives the kid 50 quid for Christmas. There's a lot of that still goes on. What I would say to somebody that started, made 2 or 3 grand, and then just quit, like, great, I hope you enjoyed it. Why did you stop doing that after 2 or 3 months when you could have been doing it every month? I had a cousin. He started on Amazon. And I was like, right, big lad, anything you need, I'm here. I sort of have to put on a good show for you, or your mother will kill me. I'll give you all the help in the world. We'll go down, we'll do our trips, I'll talk you through it, give you help any which way you need. I pinged him leads, and he was getting a lot of stuff. And I was like, bounce on to Harrison's, bounce on to Angel Wholesale, buy this, do that. But I can't sell it. And I'm like, but that's not the point. And I was speaking to his mum last week, and I was like, well, how's he getting on? Oh yeah, he's doing handyman jobs around Belfast. He just doesn't have the time for Amazon. I'm like, but he has the time to go and buy a whole load of fence posts, drive around to somebody's house on Saturday and build a fence.
Yeah, I think you do really need to be clear and want to do it, or have a strong enough reason to do it, really. Yeah. Yeah, I said to him earlier, it's like, you never be, tempted to start this again? He's like, no. I've just buying a new house, so I've got no money. But I need to be careful what I say. He might watch this one day. But no, he's got pretty thick skin. Yeah, he's like, oh, I've just bought a house, I've got my money tied up in that. But really?
I've just built a house, so that doesn't fly. Here's the thing. I've seen a quote.
Yeah, built a house off, COVID last year. So, yeah.
Still, see that sale that I got today? My first thought was, that is going to Ballymena. I'm going to deliver that directly. And while I won't have the money directly in time, I'm going to lift the exact same amount out, and I'm going to nip it round to the Galgorm and pay off a bit of the wedding. that was my first thought. I was like, there is an extra grant that I hadn't budgeted for, and I'm just going to siphon that off and pay it straight to the wedding. And yeah, it's crazy because I came home from the gym and I was at the gym this morning. There were 6 people in the class. 5 of them either were teachers or previously were teachers. And I was sitting going, that sale was the equivalent to a month's wages. One sale. Now, it's not every day, and I'm not going to sit here and argue that I'm doing that sort of numbers every day. I am not. But the fact that you can get sales like that, it's mental. And you ask why I was in such good form. Well, I'm on track to make over $1,750 today in profit. And that's 1,700. So just a wee bit of flex there. Thank you. And it's crazy. The potential for growth and the potential for profit in Amazon is crazy. It is not in direct correlation to the work, but you do have to freaking put in the work. And I think that was the problem with your mate. He got an easy win with that. Yeah, I'm going to cash out here. And I think that's half the difference.
Yeah, potentially. Yeah. If you don't want to do something, that's absolutely fine.
Like case in point, Roisin. She comes on these lives, she sits and skulks in the shadows. She'll send me private messages and she'll sit and go, okay, Eamonn, you know yourself, the kids and this, and I was busy at work, and it was a busy month for me and going to do more next month. And I'm thinking, well, Roisin, what are you doing? And like, she comes like an hour after I've cleaned out IKEA to see what scraps I've left her. And I'm like, too slow, not enough. So, Roisin, jump on, defend yourself here a bit.
I think in the same breath, to do all that yourself, I don't think Roisin started building the team just yet. To do it yourself with kids does take, fair play.
She does run another business, so I should maybe allude to that a little bit. Like she's not just sitting watching TV all day going, I'd love to do that, but Trisha's coming on now. She is working a full-time job and running a business, so. But again, she's thick skin, so I'm just going to pick on her until she drops a few questions and defends herself. So,
you're a wee guy. So guys, if there's anyone watching this live or after in the replay and you do want to get started, know where to start, there's a lot of information out there. Yeah, we have a great program. It has a guarantee and it's a proven track record with people to make a success of a business on Amazon rather than a side hustle. So if you want to get involved, there's a link there to book a call, and if you're a good fit, I'll talk you through what's available. If not, sure, no harm done. Roisin O'Neill, yes. So what else do you do, Roisin? That would be interesting.
Well, she's sending me death threats here in the sleigh, so that's what she does. I should have known not to mess with somebody from Belfast, like. Yeah. Let's have a look. Just see if there's any more questions. If anyone else, because we kind of got cut off a few times. Yeah. Well, I did say that I was going to chat a little bit about the good weather and meltables, so. Going to put the question to yourself, Mr. Jones, or are you still sending in any products that could be classified as meltable?
Yeah, I think we have some very meltable products going into FBA today. There was a message from my lovely team at WePrep that the ASINs didn't match up with what we'd ordered, so I had to fix that. That was fine, so the team fixed that. But yeah. Sent them in last summer, continue to send them in. If you can get, here's a lead for you. If you can get 99 flakes anywhere, I can't get them from my supplier.
Ooh.
If you can get 99 flakes, I think it's a box of 144, something like that. We couldn't get any this summer. I think it was an oversight on our behalf because we're good, but we're not perfect just yet. So I was annoyed to miss that. They are flying at the moment. So if you can get a hold of them, then go for it. And yeah, they're meltables. If you look at what's being sold, there's meltables being sold by FBA. So why not send them in? cash in on people who come home from work are sticky and horrible and just want to relax and just jump on Amazon and buy chocolates, buy 99 flakes, whatever it is. Yeah, we're sending them in, and yeah, they're going well. So yeah, yourself, I take it you're probably still sending a few in, Eamon, I would have thought.
Would it be like me to adhere to Amazon terms of service? No, sir. I tell you what, I have a very, very fancy barometer system going on how to gauge the meltables within my warehouse to see if it's still safe to send them in. Obviously, you can't just keep opening products to check to see if they're still okay. So I have a sampling system, which is an advent calendar left over from last year. And every so often, you just pop open a window to see what they're like.
Class.
Yeah, I did it earlier, and it's like, that's actually quite funny. Yeah,
that's great. Yeah, that's great.
Sure, what do you do?
Yeah, so meltables. Yeah, I wouldn't worry too much about it. They'll probably be next week. So
exactly. It's one of those things, though. Be sensible about it. If you're going to be sending them, don't leave them in your front porch all morning. Maybe leave them in the shade, put a blanket or something over them, something that's going to protect them and shield them a little bit.
Yeah,
would be my attitude.
Yeah, and if you can't receive them, you can ask whoever is fulfilling the order to you to leave them in a shed or leave them somewhere else. Or I mean, with these things, it's like there's always going to be some challenges, but it's really kind of how you deal with them and how you kind of think outside the box a little bit. So, yeah.
Well, whatever's challenging for everybody else is an opportunity for you if you can do it correctly. And it's not me trying to be cliche. It's simply that's it. With challenges comes opportunities.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Think of COVID. It has screwed my wedding. There has been multiple challenges, a lot of frustrations, but at the same time, there has been wins. What I argued overall has been positive? Probably not. I'd probably rather have the experiences and the money, but at the same time, there was wins.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, get a great guide to listen to, just in the kind of personal development space, a guy called Jim Rohn, ROHN, American guy, kind of coach Tony Robbins, and obviously Tony Robbins is who he is. And he talks about the set of the sail, and with challenges, it's like the wind blowing. You're not going to change the direction of the wind. What you change is the set of your sail. So it's all about how you set your sail. Can't change the direction of the wind. Can't change COVID. You can't change Amazon being whatever. So it's all about your set of the sail. So yeah, it's worth generally listening to him most mornings. And some of the stuff is fantastic. So yeah, that's how I would frame that. All about the set of the sail.
Exactly.
So
yes.
I think that's us.
Roisin are having a great back and forth about me in the comments here, I see.
Bags below the eyes and everything. My goodness.
Yeah.
It's just as well.
That is what cosmetic surgery is for.
Dear me, I've missed this soap opera, bags below the eyes and everything. Are you talking about me or
Roisin sitting saying, wait until these two get kids and they'll not be as funny about, how busy they are and having time for Amazon. And I'm sitting going, well, make time.
All the more reason to be at the house.
Be efficient. Sign up through our affiliate link to one of our partner prep services. Outsource your sourcing, outsource your prep, outsource your entire business. Like, look at Filer. It really bugs me that he is doing the amount he's doing and he does bugger all within it anymore. Like, half the time you ask him a question here, what way do you do this within Amazon? He's like going, let me check my preferencing manager and I'll tell you exactly what way we do it. Because he's not the one doing it. Like, people are baffled. They're like, how do you know what to buy? And I'm going, I have a team of 6 people that buy it for me. Like my aunt was sitting baffling today. She was like, "How does somebody in the Philippines buy your stock?" I'm like, "They have my credit card details," and they're like, "How much money could they run off with if they wanted to run off with your money?" And I was thinking, about 60 grand. Well, they were to max out the cards and send them to their addresses and faff back stuff like that. It is possible, but I was thinking, going at the same time though, you could go into Tesco's and drop your card and somebody use it to buy their groceries. Same liability. Like, you're never going to grow your business if you're going to be feared to take any risks. So, yeah, we shall see.
LOL, famous last words of a non-parent. Yeah, maybe. We'll see.
I've dodged all them paternity tests so far.
Can't wait. Oh dear. Well, if that's everything,
yes,
I think we'll draw close to this evening's live. Thank you, Eamonn, for joining me. It's been great.
I am going to add one last caveat for that anybody that is a current AAB client that's currently watching this. I alone is running the Mastermind at 9 o'clock this evening. So if you didn't get enough of this wonderful shirt, it will be live within the Zoom call tonight at 8 p.m. Sorry, 9 p.m. 9 p.m. So, feel free to drop in there, quiz me on any questions, try and catch me out, embarrass me. It'll be fun.
Yeah, and Sunday, if anyone's coming up, we're down to Leeds. Yeah, see you there, and a wee bit of crack too.
Nice one.
All right, guys, have a good one.
Lovely.
Stay cool.
See you later. Bye now.